This is not going to be a long one, guys. I got shit to do, but I need coffee too. So the coffee cup is empty, and that is a travesty. And I hope my audio is working all right because I got the earbuds in, but the truck's on, so it is what it is. It is what it is. All right. A little departure. We're going old school Boggs here. A little departure from the political stuff, right? Because this discussion flares up every once in a while, and it's so ridiculous. I mean, look, there's more than one way to skin a cat in business, right? There's literally a pro and a con to every scenario. Literally every scenario has a pro and a con. But some decisions are still better than others, right? It is what it is. You know, SoCal's a little emotional right now because and I guess Jason, and there may be others out there, don't agree with his business model that he's been pepping out for all these years. And sure, you technically go and make money doing what he's doing. You may even be successful at doing it. But the laws of averages don't lie. So when he's out there having a fucking meltdown over information that I just basically read to you off the internet, he's not mad at me as Boggs. He's mad at arithmetic. And I don't know what to say about that. That's a him problem, not a me problem. What's up, Jose? And again, if you're the political side, you're popping in. This is just a little bit of my old school talking trucking real quick, because that's what I do. I'm a truck driver. Good to see you guys. Good, you're starting to pop in. So anyway, in trucking, for those of you who are not plugged into the truckosphere and the drama and the bullshit, an age-old argument has been going on about whether you purchase new or used equipment. And we have some captains of the industry out there, these trucking gurus that like to pimp a certain business model that has been debunked countless times. And it's a little ridiculous at this point. Yeah, it's you guys are fantastic. You are fantastic, and I appreciate that. Each and every one of you, even the ones out here trolling me, are still giving me a view, and I appreciate it. So, and just again, I know I've talked politics on here, but I also talk about what's going on in my daily life. That's why you tune into small channels. We're more personable, right? It's more intimate than saying Fox News or something like that, right? So, if you're looking to get into trucking, and I'm speaking from personal experience now because I've done it twice. I leased with a new truck, and I also had an old piece of equipment that I lost because of the COVID pandemic, right? Because I couldn't account for the global economy shutting down. Oops. What's up, Wooly? Anyway. You pay more. You pay more as a payment for new trucks. But you're also mitigating your risk because you have a full warranty on that equipment. And chances are you'll also have access to like a loaner truck while it's under warranty. So even if you do experience downtime for a major repair and your equipment's going to be held in a shop for a week or two, chances are they're going to have a loaner truck available because you're under a warranty, so you can keep conducting your business, right? You can't do that with a paid-off truck. And what it boils down to in the end is paid off equipment, you're in a higher tax bracket because you have less write-offs. You have more downtime. It's not a if situation, it's a when. So the truck will break down, the parts will wear out, you will be down, and chances are you will be down on the road, because that's when we're doing the majority of our business. It's going to and from the shipper to the consignee. And it's not always in a pre-trip or a post-trip at your home terminal, wherever that might be. And unless you're leased onto a major carrier, you only have your barn in the backyard as your terminal, and that's where you're working on the truck, hopefully, to save you money. But chances are you're going to be on the side of the road somewhere, and then you're stuck, and you're still paying for a tow and all that. Which, again, if you had a warranty, would all be covered. I have been trucking for almost 21 years now. And that would be telling, wouldn't it? That'd be telling, wouldn't it? Oh, somebody say hi. Hi, Helen. Anyway. Hello, me Turkis. Okay, see, got the international crowd coming in, man. That's why I love you guys. It's not just here in the U.S., you're all over the world. And now you get to experience some American trucker drama. Yeah, that's why you tune in. It's not me just talking about Trump and the golden age of America, but it's also trucker drama. And from Australia. Well, we love you too. But look, you'll have these gurus out here talking about the way to go is paying off the equipment with cash. And if you watch I did almost a 20-minute video discussing it, but just to give you a quick rehash, paid off equipment, you don't have the write-off, so you're in a higher tax bracket. You have more downtime because you're going to be in the shop more often. Replacing an engine by itself, you're looking anywhere from 40 to 60 grand just for the engine. That's not including transmission, clutch, if you have a manual, differential, anything else. That's just the engine. And unless you have a line of capital or money in the bank to cover these expenses, it's significant. It's significant. I mean, you go pay cash money for your truck, and now you still have to have at least 60K in the bank sitting there in case something happens. And you'll see that too. You'll see these geniuses out here with a $15,000 truck and 60 grand worth of repairs in the thing. Doesn't change the fact it's still a $15,000 piece of equipment. Just because you fixed it does not increase the value to where the amount of money that you put into it as a repair. That's just not the way economics works. You just now have a working $15,000 piece of equipment. And technically they're correct when they say these things are business assets, right? They're assets, but these are depreciating assets. Right? It's not real estate or Bitcoin or anything that appreciates in value. Equipment, I don't care if it's a truck, car, or a laptop, they always go down in value. And that's one of the major reasons why people like getting new equipment, is because they get to write off depreciation to their business. It's an even larger write-off. So I guess it's just about the mindset of where you are in trucking. Are you a truck, title collector, or are you in business to make money? If you're a collector and just like having a yard full of old trucks out there available to you, sure, do your thing. It's a free country. You can spend your money on what you want. But if you're actually in business to make money, instead of paying that, I don't know, for a decent used truck, you're looking at 50K. So you're dropping 50K on something. Well, a businessman that has a carrier is going to say, you know what? I could take that 50K, I could split it up 3 times, make 3 down payments on 3 new trucks. I'll make payments on it, but then I can drive a truck and I can have 2 other people driving those other trucks making me money. And then I don't have to worry about breakdowns because everything's under warranty. That's a business model. Unless you're in the business of just collecting rust buckets and putting in your front yard like a lawn ornament. You could do that too. Whatever floats your boat. No, it's not. It's inevitable is what that is, John David. It's inevitable. When you are over a certain threshold in your mileage, that truck will require a rebuild. It's not an if, it's a when. You know, don't try to gaslight me with it. Don't try to bullshit me with that. All right? You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Every component on your truck will fail at one point or another. And unless you have a warranty, you're on the hook for those payments. Those are facts. You know, we live in an entropic system. Things don't just magically heal on their own. Eventually you have diminishing returns and your shit will just break down. And you will have to get it replaced. And that's just the long and the short. So yes, it does happen. What's up, Daycab? It's at least one per truck. Every truck you see out here is going to need at least a $60,000 repair at some point if they keep it on the road. That's not rare. That's statistically to every vehicle on the road, John David. That's not rare. That's not rare. Every single one will need a new engine or a rebuild. That's just one aspect. That's just one major repair. That's statistic. That's why these companies get rid of these vehicles. Now, again, if you're dead set on becoming a 1099 and go out and starting a business, be your own captain of the industry, and you want to go make your own way in the world, and this is the route that you want to go, just realize, yeah, you could do it, but you're playing Vegas odds. You're taking on an extraordinary amount of risk that these carriers aren't willing to accept. They would have shunted off to you, while the vehicle still maintains a certain amount of value, which is why they all have the same actuarial deadlines on the mileage to get rid of these pieces of equipment. Again, you're arguing with math, not me. Well, we'll just give you a good flush and hopefully you'll be all right. Wait, you talking about $49,999? It's technically less than $50K. Wait, you got $45,000, right? Then you add taxes on top of that. Guess what? You're over $50K. Mind you, a lot of these trucking companies, not trucking companies, but trucks like the new PACCAR engine, aren't really made to be rebuilt. They rather you just buy a new crate engine and throw in a new one because it's just the way they're designed. They're not really designed to be rebuilt. They're not like the old Cummins, right? Cummins or the old CAT engines or the old DD series. A lot of these trucks, especially PACCAR here lately, they're designed to be thrown away and put a new one in. It's just the way the industry has gone, guys. The day of the shade tree mechanic out here running a business is gone. And it's been gone for a long time because of all the electronic doodads they've been putting on the trucks. It just is. Yeah. You probably have a bad morning. There's a lot of calcium to digest. Just saying. Don't recommend. Anywho. I love people trying to distract me. Dude, I'm just going by what the technicians told me at the Rush dealership, you know. They're the ones having to work on this shit on the daily, all right? Go argue with Rush, Peterbilt. Hello, Bernard. You want me to distract you? Well, I guess it just depends how good of a rack you got. You know, I am a guy. Anyway, my point remains, you know, SoCal's out here saying that I can't do what he does. You're right. I can't go out there and buy a clapped out truck and go run port work for $1,500 a week. You're right. I can't do that. I won't do that. That's why the shittiest trucks on the road do port work. And by the way, Since he skirted AB5 by getting his contractors, if they're legal or not, we don't know, to get out of state corporations to do an end around the AB5. It doesn't really matter because California is going all electric at the ports anyway. So all of his clapped out trucks and his fleet are going to have to be pushed out and put in with brand new electric trucks. So it kind of defeated the purpose anyway, which is probably why he has all this time to go online here lately, instead of conducting the business of doing business or running his mouth on social media. Because if I were a business guy like that, I mean, I know how busy I am as a W-2. I have to, I'm having to make coffee, and I'm like, I have to go live real quick while I'm doing that, just to get a point across, because I'm too damn busy out here making money. Well, it's a good thing I drive solo because I eat a lot of protein. And let me tell you, I'd be chasing people out of here if they had a ride with me. I'm just saying.
You're just like the guru you mentioned. You both know everything and never acknowledge a different.
I am acknowledging the different. Did you not start with the beginning? I said there are different ways to do business, but not all of them are equal, right? There's pros and cons to everything. I think I prefaced the entire argument with that, JD. You're just out here being an asshole, as usual, by playing devil's advocate, because you're trying to play gotcha with the answer man, which is me. All right? You're never going to do it. I've already defeated you several times in these debates. You're just too cowardly to admit when you were wrong and apologize for it. That's why I can't take you seriously, dude. You're not a serious person to me. And I'm also speaking from not only doing the research and looking up the statistical data, but also the personal experience, which is more than what a lot of these guys say out here. It is what it is. You don't have to like it. You don't have to be here. No, I don't have to. Actually, I don't have to get over myself. I have a lot to be appreciative for and proud of myself over. And I have a lot of knowledge up here. And yeah, I do share it freely. And you guys tune in. Some take the advice, some don't. And you know what? I haven't made a dime off the people I have taken the advice from, and they have thanked me in emails later on. Say, hey, I did this, or I got into tanking. I didn't go to the company you're with, Boggs, but I had an opportunity here locally, and I'm better off. And they said, thank you. And that's all that I ever asked for, just a thank you. That's not asking a whole lot. I could drive 12 because I'm Texas Hours of Service. Since I'm intrastate, now if you go out of state, you can drive 11. Even more if you're doing oil field because you get a special line 5. I haven't had my coffee yet. You'll have to forgive me, John. It's one of the vices I have remaining, right? I like my coffee. Idiots also trigger me, right? Whether they're abroad or in the chat, people that are intentionally just trying to play devil's advocate all the time without admitting when they're wrong, because they're always trying to trip me up on doing dumb shit. Yeah, that agitates me a little bit. But I still keep you around. Oh God.
Is that really sage? That's really sage.
You know what?
We'll just go and nick that in the bud.
I don't deal with duplicitous snakes in the grass, backbiting asswipes. All right? So just stay over there in fucking Maintopia and go fuck off into the sunset. I'm not a fan. And I know Jason shared my video, and I am appreciative of that. So I will say that this go around with Jason, he's kind of harmless as opposed to the past, because in the past, Jason would give advice that was actually harming people. They would actually wind up in a worse situation if they had just stayed where they're at than taking his advice at that time. This go around, he's actually been with Hirschbach a little bit, so this is the second bite at the apple, so to speak. Depending on where you're at in your trucking career, it may look like a good deal, but just doing the research and talking to people that worked there and running the numbers myself and seeing the gimmicks for what they are, for example, the 99-cent fuel, it's a gimmick, right? They're making the money up somewhere else. It's normally in the overinflated truck payment or the 10 cent per mile that you don't get back for maintenance insurance, or it's all tied up somewhere else. Because again, and I've gone over this in the past, every aspect of our industry, the shippers all pay the same. So it's the same profit margin for Prime as it is Hirschbach, as it is any other reefer company. They're all doing the same type of equipment, and they all have the same type of expenses. So they're all basically going to pay the same. And it's just a matter of a shell game on how they're going to entice you with these little gimmicks to get you through the door and start driving more. I don't know if he's misrepresenting or not. It's more like an insurance, right? I've talked to other guys. It's more like an insurance. And, you know, again, every situation has good and bad points, right? I think 10 cents a mile on a brand new truck is a little excessive, right? Because, yeah, but it does cover things like PMs and tires. And tires, you give a brand new tire, I'm going to get 3 new ones put on the tractor today. I mean, you can have brand new tires, but you can still have a blowout, right? So, I mean, shit happens. And those could be costly. And especially if you have super singles, now you're dealing with normally like fender damage and so on. So, I mean, it's good and bad, guys, but it's a little excessive for me in a new truck. Especially on money that you're never going to get back. And I don't know if he's ever addressed this. Yeah, I'm not even going to get into that. I'm not even going to get into it. This is not really a bash. Maybe a little bit on SoCal, a little bit, because it's I don't know, man. I just always thought it was poor information. You know, he's basically preaching to the margins of the trucking industry to go do port work, which is basically the bottom tier of the industry. That port work is where you go when you have too many felonies for Western Express. All right, it's all done by illegals or whatever. It's not done, and the pay is subpar at best, and it's just not. And that's why all the port trucks you see are held together with baling wire and duct tape. They don't have the money to put back in their equipment because it doesn't pay enough. It just doesn't. You know, whatever. Well, there you go, man. And I get you too. I'd rather be sitting back instead of doing this bullshit. Going out and working for the man. Oh, and by the way, if you're going to get your information from these captains of the industry, at least have them do basic math, all right? When dumbass is out there and he's so triggered and he's trying to give you a mathematical situation where it's like, well, you pay $5,000 a week over 9 years, that new truck's going to cost you $2.5 million. Like, who the fuck is paying $5K a week on a lease? What dumbass is out here paying $5K? And he never corrected himself. You pay $2.5 million or $5K a week. Nobody's paying $5K a week, dude. No one's paying $5K a week. Where the fuck are you getting these magical numbers? I can say, well, shit. With that contractor freight, I make $20K a week. In over 20 years, I made a gajillion dollars over your paid off doing spot market bullshit. So who's the math genius now, huh? It's stupid, guys. It's a stupid argument, and it's done with dumb math. I don't know if everybody would call him out for that, but it's just that this is the guy you're taking information from, right? This is the guy you're basing your career on. He can't do basic mathematics. I'm just saying. It was meant just to be a dig, dude. All right? Don't take it too serious. Yeah, probably. But it's the truth. I can go down to Houston. How I go to the railport yard here in Dallas. These trucks are clapped out to the hilt. I mean, this is where port work is where trucks go to die because they don't make the money to reinvest into their equipment. It doesn't pay worth a shit running those chassis in and out of the port. They just don't. And now California, you're gonna have to go out and get special fucking trucks, all electric bullshit, to run in and out of the ports. So you're not even gonna be able to do it on a shoestring budget anymore. But I'm sure he's going to have a clapback for that too. He's got some kind of bullshit workaround. It's not just like his AB5 workaround. It's like, yeah, just have your guys get a corporation outside of California. That solves everything. Yeah, until they catch up to you and do an audit, and then, you're fucked. Because as clever as you think you are, you're not going to outsmart the government because they have smarter people and they have the resources to do forensic audits to track this shit down and to suss out the bullshit. And by the way, you're not the only person doing it. So it's like a trick play in football, but everyone's doing the same trick play and they're trying to pull it off every down. Right? You know it's coming. So it's like, all right, I already had a counter for this shit. You're like fucking Neo. Like, I know Kung Fu. Woo, 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 woo. You're blocking everything, dodging the shit because you know what the punches are going before they even throw it. Okay, I don't know what that has to do with what I'm talking about, but knock yourself out. All right, it's about the half-hour mark, guys. I'll get back to regular politics. There's a lot going on, especially with SCOTUS. They're about to rule on the Civil Rights Act or the Voting Rights Act, and it's going to change the whole power dynamic, especially in the House of Representatives. But I needed to get this off my chest because you got people giving bad advice. It needs to stop. All right. The only way cash trucking works is if you have a lot of cash in the bank to back up the repairs, and that's all there is to it. Normally, these are not the people that have a whole lot of available capital or credit to go out there and fix their shit. Otherwise, they wouldn't be buying cheap shit from the very beginning. There is a lot of downside to having a cash-only truck. And again, if you like throwing good money after bad and throwing $60K in repairs at a $15,000 truck, who am I to stop you? But there's better ways of doing business, guys. Or even not dealing with that shit to do. Just do what I do. I'm a W-2. That's a headache I don't have to deal with. I'm making, pretty good money, over six figures. Right? I'm in the six figures realm, and I got full benefits. If this truck craps out today, I'm not out a damn dime. And they're just going to throw me in a different truck. And I just keep on making money. As a W-2, everything's profit. There is no risk. Yeah. And I'm doing damn well. Anyway, I'm out of here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm sure there's going to be lots of follow-up videos. You're welcome. You thought drama was dead. You're welcome. You can thank me later. You guys take care. TC out.